Good morning, YouTube. I'm just going to go ahead and make this video. Seems like it's going to be video day, so it's Wednesday here, and I am, I believe, 12 days out post extraction. And I'm just going to go ahead and make my next video so I can go ahead and get some content onto my channel. And I'm enjoying the weather here in Texas in my backyard. And it's just a beautiful day, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and make a couple short videos on topics that I want to talk about. And the topic I wanted to talk to you today is basically what everybody's calling your E-Day. So this is the day you're going to go and get your extractions done. They're going to place your immediate dentures, and you're going to begin this toothless journey is what I'll call it, okay? So on my E-Day, I was told that I cannot eat after midnight, the night before. I was supposed to go in at 10 a.m. on August 12th and get my extractions done, 23 teeth, according to my care plan from my dentist. And that was, I had one back molar, some teeth here, I had a bridge in front, and one broken off tooth here in the front, and I think one or two teeth. No, I'm sorry. I think there's two broken teeth on the bottom. I had. I used to go to Mexico a lot and get my dental work done there, and I went in for a root canal, and the dentist there. It was a different dentist that I went to than the original person who his name was Caesar. He did two root canals on the top here when I had a really bad infection, and he needed to do root canals on two teeth. And that man was awesome in terms of his root canals. I got a cracked tooth basically, and a friend of mine took me to. He used to take me down to the dentist in Mexico, and he would translate for me because I don't speak Spanish, even though I'm Puerto Rican. What's funny is my grandmother used to speak nothing but Spanish, and up until I was about 4, I used to spend a lot of time with her, and I knew a lot of Spanish basically when I was young. And then something happened with my mom and her father, her stepfather, and um, they stopped. I stopped going over there to spend time with my grandmother, which was sad for me. But so, needless to say, I never learned any Spanish, and my step grandfather never wanted my grandmother to speak to us in Spanish, which is sad because he never taught her English. Um, so that's another story, I guess, for another time. But um, so, August 12th, 10 a.m., I went in for my E-Day, and the doctor placed the IV, which he was good. It didn't hurt when he put the IV in. He put it on my left arm, which usually most phlebotomists have a issue trying to find a vein. He got a vein after a little while. Took him a little while to find the vein, but he got it. Got the IV in, and it was so funny because I felt immediately woozy, like I had drank too much, and I don't know how long it was. Probably wasn't that long. I was out, and I woke up twice during the procedure. I don't I no I talked about this in the video I didn't post. So I woke up twice and during the procedure, and um, the first time was when he started injecting. I'm not sure exactly what they use now. It's probably some type of. It used to be Novocaine. I'm not even sure what they use nowadays. It could be the same thing. He started injecting my gums, and I could feel I could feel the injections going in. It was very painful, actually. I don't know because if I had an infection going on or what, but the injections themselves were very painful. And he went to basically on the back of my jaw here with my mouth open to inject the muscle back here, and that's probably just to relax, maybe just to relax my jaw so he could hold it open while he was working. And that was so painful. It actually woke me up from the anesthesia, and I moaned because in pain, and everything stopped. And it was so funny. He took the needle out, everything stopped, and within a few seconds I was back out, you know. And I guess I know what a coma would feel like because I didn't dream about anything, I didn't think about anything, I didn't feel anything. Um, I need to put up a fly trap out here in my backyard. There's too many flies. But so the procedure went pretty well. I woke up. We went at 10. I was told usually the procedure is about 2 hours. He did my procedure in about, I would say, roughly probably about an hour to an hour and a half. He was able to extract all my teeth, and I began to wake up from the anesthesia. I was still woozy when I got up. Um, my wife had to drive me home. I couldn't drive myself home, and I'm grateful actually she was there because I don't think I would have been able to drive, honestly. I kind of dragged myself out of the dental office that day, and yeah, so we went to the pharmacy afterwards. I got a prescription for amoxicillin and some pain pills, but I don't remember the name of them. They're up in my closet. I don't have any plans on using them for any other thing. I'm probably going to turn them over to one of the um, disposal prescription disposal sites. I don't think I'll ever have a need for them. And post extraction, after I got home, we went in at 10. I was home by 12:30, and that's after going to Walgreens and picking up my prescriptions and getting home. And I didn't eat the, for the first 24 hours. My mouth was so sore. About 2 hours after my procedure, the pain started kicking in, and I kind of wish I would have took either some Motrin or some Tylenol or a combination of both uh, prior to that. But I was so numb at the time, it didn't. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel anything really. To be honest with you, and of course nobody talked to me about that. That seems to be a common theme here with my videos is nobody's giving anybody good information. And so I'm trying to put that out there for everyone. And so once you get, if you do get full extractions or extractions period, you come home, you're numb, pop a couple Motrin, take a couple Tylenol just to, when you start feeling that pain, just to take that little bit of edge off of the pain. And one doctor actually suggested on the pain pills taking half a pill and wait 30 minutes. See how your pain, if your pain subsides. If it doesn't, take the other half of the pill. Um, that to me is interesting because I took one full pill and basically all it did was put me to sleep. Uh, you know, and put me to sleep. I slept for a couple hours. Basically took a little nap, woke up, and I had some pain. I'll be honest with you. I was in pain 2 hours after I took that pain pill, and I believe I was supposed to take one every 6 hours. And so I took some Motrin and laid back, watched some TV with my wife and my son. They were playing, having a good time. I just laid in the day bed. I kind of sat up, kind of in the position I'm in now. Um, to That's the recommended position. I'm not sure why, um, but like I say, about after 2 hours, I noticed the bleeding stopped because I had gauze in my mouth. And after I woke up from my nap, um, I took the gauze out of my mouth, and they were bloody. I'm not. I don't want to be too graphic, but they were full of blood. I threw them out, put two more gauze in my mouth. After about um, let's say about after a half hour, they were um, not full of blood, but they had blood in them, and it was uncomfortable to have them in my mouth. So I just began changing out the gauze. And I'm not sure if it was just residual blood or what they call oozing coming out of the dentures that the gauze was absorbing. Um, but I didn't have a lot of blood um, after my procedure. Some people said they bled for 4 hours. Blood was going down the off the back of their dentures, down their throat. Um, I didn't have that experience. And the nurse called it oozing. So that's the terminology that I'm going to use. And I just experienced some oozing, and I tried to bite down on the dentures as much as I could without causing myself any extreme pain. But I did want to stop. My objective was to stop the bleeding because the immediate dentures act essentially like a band aid to your gums just to prevent bleeding or stop the bleeding, have blood clots form, so you don't get a dry socket, basically, where blood clot doesn't form, your bone is exposed. They're very painful from what I hear. And you have to go back into the dentist. I know my dentist, the way he treats it is he just scrapes the inside of the dry socket to get the socket to bleed again and then hopefully form a new blood clot. And fortunately, thank God I didn't experience that for my procedure. And like I said, I'm 12 days post extraction. Um, and there was a lot of videos about people who um, had did videos about pre-extractions and how their teeth were and why they were getting dentures and so forth. So I didn't feel the need to record my experience pre extraction. And after going through the this process of starting the healing, I'll be honest with you. Luckily, I found on YouTube actually a doctor talking about the best pain management is to take Tylenol and Motrin together. And that's what I did. I took two Tylenol and two Motrin. And I took those 2 hours after I took the pain pill. And believe it or not, that managed my pain better than the pain medication that they had given me. So I continued that every 4 hours, and I noticed the first day my gums were really swollen in my dentures. They felt really, really tight in my immediate dentures. By the second day, um, they felt almost normal, which is, according to the denturist that I saw, is unusual because most people are, she said, crawling into the dental office 24 hours post extraction. and they can barely walk and they can't talk and they're in extreme pain. I didn't have that experience. And sorry, my dog is bothering me again. And so I didn't have that experience, and I just continued with the Motrin and the Tylenol about every 4 to 6 hours. And so it was quite interesting, my experience based off of, and I'm not trying to downplay it. It was very painful. I couldn't chew. And the thing is, with having the dentures in, I could barely drink. I mean, I dribbled water all over my face. I had to literally drink water over the sink, and half of the cup would end up in the sink and not in my mouth. And so taking pain medication was very difficult. And one thing you can do with the lower plate is kind of try and push on the lower plate with your bottom lip. And that seemed to help me basically to be able to drink. And it was painful. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very painful even to drink water to take the pain medication or Tylenol. Once I got the Tylenol and ibuprofen on board, that subsided a little bit and I could at least drink, right? And you're going to drink meal replacement shakes, and I had tomato soup, and I'll do another video basically about a liquid diet. I think so. I'm for the first 24 hours, like I said, I didn't eat. I was in so much pain. I was uncomfortable. I had to keep the dentures in. It was painful even to drink out of a cup or a bottle or anything. So pretty much first 24 hours, nothing. Although I do take that back, I did wake up at 3 a.m. and force myself to eat a little thing of applesauce, only because I was starving at that point and I needed to get something in my stomach because my stomach started hurting. And that helped a little bit. And then the next day, really right about 24 hours, I was in the dental office. She did an adjustment on my dentures, which made them fit better. She fixed my bite, which helped me be able to drink a lot better. And the girl who did my initial adjustment, she was awesome. I can't, if she somehow sees this video, you are so passionate with what you do, and I just thank you for being that first person who did my adjustment because you helped me so much. And basically, the few days after, I would try and eat with my dentures, and that became an impossible task. And if you're looking at trying to eat, Dentures versus Food Channel is the one that I watched, and he gives a lot of good information on how to eat with dentures and learn how to eat with dentures. So I'm going to promote his channel because he gave me a lot of good information. And his name's Bill. I don't know his last name, but he's been 6 years now with dentures. He had full extractions, and so he's 6 years post, so he can pretty much eat anything with his dentures. And he's gotten, he's away from his intermediates, and I talked about intermediates in my last video. And it's one set of dentures that you get. Your intermediate dentures are your permanent dentures. At least that's in my case, okay? And he got some Russell Kleins after a few years. I don't know if I'll go that route. They're ultra thins. I don't know if I'll go that route. I'm possibly going to because my immediate dentures really feel too thick for my mouth, and I have a little bit of difficulty eating and drinking, and I know that's all adjustments and so forth that need to be done, and the healing process and waiting for my bone to recess and all that. So I'm trying to be realistic. And so after your E-Day, I didn't eat for 24 hours. After that, really, I tried to eat with my dentures in. And the one thing they don't tell you is you can take your dentures out to eat. And once I figured that out, it was so much easier for me to get some nutrition in me. I was drinking meal replacement shakes, making smoothies. I would take a soup, so you could take like a chunky soup that you like, throw it in a blender. Go and buy a inexpensive. I bought a 16, $17 blender from Walmart. I was using a little bullet blender and I nearly burned that out trying to puree my food. You don't necessarily have to eat baby food. Baby food is basically pureed food. Okay. So you can take a soup, puree it, very easy, very quick, throw it on the stove, throw it in the microwave, just don't eat it too hot, right? Because it's going to hurt your gums. And I did that for the first 3 days. I take a soup, puree it. What's funny is after my third day, I had a craving for a cheeseburger. And I think that's just because of the blood loss. I wanted some red meat to build up my red blood cells, so forth. And so I ended up making a cheeseburger soup, which you can find online. And I pureed it and I was able to drink it, and that's been the whole process. Now, like I say, I'm 12 days out post extractions, so I'm able to start incorporating soft foods. But my experience might be a little bit unusual. I feel like I'm healing up a little bit faster. My actual extraction sites are starting to close. Um, and like I say, the information that I've seen online, that takes up to 3 months, or at least a month, I think, up to 3 months for them to fully close, the gums to grow over the site. And the denturist told me that I would be on a liquid diet for at least 30 days or longer. It wouldn't be maybe 60 days, I'd be on soft foods. And she never really talked about going. I know realistically I won't be able to eat steak or chicken or that stuff. That's going to be probably with my immediate dentures down the line. And maybe I'll make a video for that. If there's interest in this, like I said, my introductory video, I've been getting a few views on that. So there obviously is an interest in this topic, and I just want to share my experience with you. That was my E-Day experience and a few days after, and it's gotten better each day. And I'm trying to be optimistic and think at some point I'm going to be using my dentures almost like my natural teeth, okay? At least that's the hope, right? I'm not going to give up completely on my dentures or my immediate dentures. I just need to learn, be persevere a little bit, but I needed to get past this pain stage uh, enough that I feel that I could start wearing my immediate dentures. And I kind of feel like I'm at that stage. So I think I got in a week another adjustment, so I'm probably going to start wearing my dentures at least in the morning and see how they feel. And I'm going to go from there. So um, I hope everybody is healthy and happy. I hope you're doing well with your oral health. And like, I'm just going to sign off every time. If you have them, floss them. Don't be afraid to go to the dentist and get a cleaning. Now, if you have an infection that's caused by that deep cleaning, go back to the dentist, get some antibiotics, have them look at it. Don't do what I did and just ignore the problem. You know, it probably caused me a lot more problems than I could have avoided actually. and just being stubborn, you know, I didn't. So, um, like I always say, don't make dentures your first choice, make them your last choice, and try and keep your natural teeth. Floss them if you got them. All right? Take care of you too.